get to the issues, and preliminarily we are going to look at the issue about the president allegedly buying votes or distributing cash on the campaign. We'll look at that very briefly. My guests will take maybe 2 minutes each and speak to that. The chief of staff was spoken to on the morning super morning show on the 22nd, and he admitted that he hadn't seen the video. Nonetheless, he doubted that the president will engage in such a thing as to give out money on a campaign in seeking to buy votes. He actually educated people who didn't know that the presidents are not supposed to carry cash on them. And one other campaign of the campaign management of the government of the NDC also reiterated that point. I think Mr. Abudakwe also reiterated that point, that the president don't carry cash, so we ought to take note of that. However, Mr. Julius Debra suggested that it could be that, I mean, I thought he said that jokingly, that it could be that he was distributing leaflets, perhaps NDC leaflets, to the people in the crowd. I think I'll start with Nana Kumia on that. What's your assessment of that video? We should play it to you shortly. What's your assessment of that video, and what do you have to say?
Well, thank you, Samson. I have seen the video, and in the video, the president appeared to be giving cash to some people that he had called from the audience, and this was a street convoy, so there are a lot of people milling around. But you see him in the video singling out some people in the crowd, and the people came near this vehicle, and he gave them something. In fact, in the video, you hear one woman remarking, "Hey, he's going to give us money." You hear it in the video. And then subsequently, you see the people coming to the car and taking something from the president. I think 3 times he took something from the car and gave it to the people.
Right.
There is some dispute as to what he actually gave to the people. Some say they were leaflets. Some say it was cash, and that
the minister said it could have been leaflets.
Yes, it could have been leaflets.
I mean the chief of staff.
The chief of staff.
Yeah,
chief of staff.
Yeah, and some said there was no cash, and that some to say it is cash, and that he noticed that one hawker or the other had their wares pushed to the ground, and the president wanted to show concern, so he called. And you could actually see him try to single out some people. So it could be that he noticed, because he was standing on top of the car, he had an overview. He noticed some hawker having her ice water, sachet water, being thrown on the ground in that whole scenario, or maybe some egg seller having the eggs poured on the ground, and so the president wanted to show sympathy. It could be. So he appeared that he was sharing something, but it didn't look like he was throwing the money about and people were scrambling for them. And that kind of scene, if you did that, people would die. So that is what it is. But it has given a lot of speculation, given rise to a lot of speculation that the president was sharing money. But when you look at the video, it wasn't like the typical scene where a politician is sharing money. You would find him lots of hands stretching out and he putting money into the hands. It didn't appear to be so. It appeared to be selected people, 3 or 4, that the president had called. But you see,
so this is not something the NPP is going to take onto the campaign and say the president has been sharing money.
No,
can you be categorical about
it? No, but when I come to my second part of that, you will see what I'm talking about. You see, this whole contest about the president sharing money, in this particular instance, it appears that there wasn't the kind of scenes of largesse that we have become used to. But it's giving rise to the speculation that the president was sharing money because of the record in the last few months that we have seen. We have seen even the last couple of weeks or months, the president engaged in doling out goodies to voters.
You have seen, or it's been rumored?
No, we have seen them.
Okay.
We saw the president sharing outboard motors to fishermen. We've seen the president sharing that basin to fishmongers. We've seen them sharing branded gas cookers. We've seen them sharing branded dryers to women and all of them. The president has been involved in some of them. Indeed, Transparency International's local wing, the Ghana Integrity Initiative, has put on record that President Mahama has been engaged in bribing the electorate and in abuse of incumbency. This is not me. This is not Kwekubak. This is not Okuja Tuablak. This is an NGO with a worldwide reputation when it comes to dealing with corruption. And they have put out an official statement that President Mahama has been engaged in bribing the electorate.
An official statement?
Yes, they put out an official statement. I have a...
You do?
Yes.
Please, if you do, fetch it for me.
Fetch it.
I haven't seen. I am aware of the... please,
report,
is anybody here who has seen any of that?
No, what I'm aware of is a report that indicts all the parties. Okay. That's what I'm aware of, but not an official statement
please,
targeted at the president.
Please.
So let's see.
Ghana Integrity
The Ghana Integrity, whether it's a report or a statement.
In respect of the outboard motors issue you're referring to,
yes,
the executive director was interviewed.
Yes.
And the executive director was emphatic that what was done, for as long as the president was in NDC outfits, whilst he did that function, he could be said to have abused incumbency, and that was wrong.
They said that.
But again, in that respect, you are saying that you don't take the explanation that's been given, that this was a government project, the outboard motors, I'm talking about just that, a government project which was ongoing, and which was on the first time the president was going to launch the distribution. You don't take that.
It is not me who does not take the government's explanation. The Ghana Integrity Initiative did not take.
Okay.
And that's for me.
So this was supposed to be very brief.
Somebody will say, "Oh, husband and Akumi, he doesn't like Okuja Tuablak."
All right. So
this is the Ghana. Now I haven't finished. Now you see, beyond the Ghana Integrity Initiative, you've had a lady like Ekwia Donko telling Ghanaians that she's been the beneficiary of largesse from the president, and
of a house and a car,
of two 4-wheel drives and a house.
And she later said she was just joking. She was just seeking to tease the NPP. She bought them herself.
But you could see something, that when she couldn't even name the car. Now the car that she took thousands of dollars to buy from the shop, she couldn't remember the name. I mean, please. And recently you had no less a personality than the former, what do you call it? The
former moderator.
No, he's just immediate past moderator. That's what I'm looking for. The immediate past moderator saying that he had been offered large amounts of monies, luxury vehicles, and luxury houses
by the NDC,
so that he could keep.
Please answer that question. By the NDC?
For all intents and purposes, by the NDC.
But he didn't say that, did he?
We all heard him. He didn't say that.
Yes.
He said,
okay.
Yes.
Well, his PRO came to say it was from the opposition.
It would be the opposition wanted him to keep quiet.
Right.
The opposition wanted him to keep quiet.
Okay, thank you.
There is a pattern of engaging the electorate in ways that amount to bribery and the wanton waste of public resources by the president.
All right. So really, Nana, in 15 seconds, where should this matter end?
Which one?
It's over, isn't it?
The video
yes, this thing ends here, right? Yeah.
Well, until some new information comes out, let's leave it like it is.
All right.
But we should not.
Let's hear from the minister.
See the concept of bribery and abuse of incumbency.
Okay.
That situates this video?
Yeah, Samson, I am particularly happy that this video was recorded. That Ghanaian who recorded this video and put it out has done us a lot of good and has really enhanced the campaign of President John Dramani Mahama. 3-minute video, we have all seen it. As Nana Akomia rightly pointed out, in the video, the president is seen calling out people, called out particular people in the video.
Okay, so this is the video that you are seeing now.
Okay.
The video we're talking about, the president in a convoy, he's around, out and about in Bobloshi area. We understand. And he's on top of the vehicle, and he's mobbed
slowly along the street from left to right, surrounded at all times by a crowd of cheering traders. As the president's vehicle approaches, the camera person zooms in to reveal the president dressed in a white cap and black polo shirt with the JM logos in white on his sleeve and in green on his chest. He is seen with his torso sticking out of the sunroof, shaking hands and interacting with members of the crowd as they mill around his black 4x4 vehicle. About 1 minute and 7 seconds into the video, the vehicle comes to a halt in the middle of the road. The president is then seen communicating with some specific member of the milling crowd. He appears to be asking a question, which the individual answers by vigorously waving their hand. The president then turns and reaches down into the vehicle. He straightens up and with one hand still in the vehicle, turns back towards the crowd and points 3 times at someone who cannot be seen in the shot. A voice is heard asking in Chi, is he about to give them money? The president is then seen reaching into the vehicle again and handing something to an unidentified person in the crowd around the vehicle. He repeats the action a second time, again handing an unidentified item to another person. Then he identifies a third person in the crowd and beckons to them. He brings out more of the light-colored material that looks the size of a mobile phone roughly. He then lets go of the person's hand, transfers the material from his left hand to his right, and hands it to the individual.
Right, so, sorry, continue.
Good. So it's good we've seen the video. That's not president sharing money. The president has spoken on this matter. We should settle this matter and clear all doubt. In his official reaction, speaking to the Daily Post newspaper, which has since been published extensively.
Which paper is that?
The Daily Post newspaper. The president spoke to the Daily Post newspaper.
Now that you confirm that the president spoke to them,
yes, I can confirm.
Yes, now that you confirm,
yes,
I take it
I can
serious.
confirm
Okay,
that the president spoke to the Daily Post newspaper. And the president says that, and this was the Sabon Zongo Road, his recent campaign in the Greater Accra region, the Agbogloshi area. Whilst he was campaigning, he says he noticed that a young lady selling eggs, because of the million crowd and all the, the enthusiasm that, heralded his entry into Agbogloshi, supporters pushed her down, and she lost her where they trampled upon the eggs and destroyed, the eggs. The president, being compassionate, seeing that, did not want to turn a blind eye and just continue with the campaign. So he singled out the lady. You notice that there are at least 2 instances of giving out.
About 3.
About 3, yeah, but of giving out money. In his explanation, when he asked that the girl be brought forward, closer to his vehicle, another lady, an elderly woman, approached, and he thought that the elderly lady was related to her, either an auntie or a mother. But she took the money, and the girl was still crying. The young lady was still crying. So he asked that, please bring that specific young lady to the vehicle. And he handed out 50 Ghana cedis to her. We have seen another side of the president in this whole episode. We've seen a president who is compassionate, who is kind, who is caring. It's true presidents don't carry money, but as the president has said, his ADC was in the vehicle the same week, because you could see that he reached out and was speaking to somebody. That was his ADC. The ADC then gives him this 50 Ghana cedis note. So in the video, contrary to the claims that have been made, we have all seen it. He wasn't splashing money around. So let's understand that the president was only in a humanitarian gesture extending some kindness to a young lady who, because of his campaign, has lost her wherewithal in terms of the financial activity that she's engaged in. You don't expect a president to see that and just, walk away. On the issue of the chief of staff, another statement that
there are these two other ladies who may appear to be, if your account is correct, who have also confirmed to news persons that the president gave them 50 Ghana cedis. One, Rebecca Kamasa, and another whose name does not immediately come up. But Atinka News appears to have spoken to them, and these are the women who are speaking. But more importantly, what do you make of the fact that immediately the story came out, there were people within the NDC who denied flatly and suggested that this video was a fabrication?
I happen to have listened to some of those interviews, especially the one granted by the chief of staff to this station, this very station. He was speaking to Kojo Yankson on the Super Morning Show. I listened to him. He was speaking from the Upper West region. He put out a caveat, to be fair to the chief of staff. He said that I haven't seen the video, so I will be surprised. I know President Mahama, very experienced politician, he will not be doling out money.
Yeah, he was measured, but there were others who said this was a fabrication.
He said that if there was, and so that's when the leafleting thing came, that if he was even giving out, it may be leaflets, And let's face it, the other people who were speaking were also concerned. Some of them said they haven't seen the video, but they would doubt its authenticity. I think the campaign coordinator took that line, Mr. Kofi Adams, because we have been in an era of a lot of doctrine and all of that. And so because the president was away, let's remember that the president is still attending to the United Nations General Assembly meetings and the side events. So the president is in New York. I think that if he was in Ghana and there was some swiftness and coordination about the response, we would not have had. So you have to understand, Chief of Staff was not with the president. He was away, Upper West region campaigning. He's also in Accra. He indicated that he hasn't seen the video. Campaign coordinator also said, I haven't seen the video. I may suggest that perhaps they could have stopped that. I haven't seen the video. We'll look at it and check and then get back to you. Right. But you in the media also are very pushy, and you always will want that we speak. So let me conclude something by saying that President Mahama does not need to share money to dole out cash to win the December 7 election. He has already shared with us his dynamic leadership. He shared with us his dedication to duty, his humility. He shared with us all this massive infrastructure development in all 10 regions in Ghana. He does not need to share cash to 2 people or 3 people to win the December 7 election.
Thank you. Yeah, what do you say? They say if this is what really happened, the narration he gave, and you have no reason to disbelieve that the president actually says so. We have the Rebecca lady and one Rahina Moro, who have also confirmed that they were recipients of the 50 Ghana. Right. And you see in the video that he gave it 3 times.
That's right.
And as has been explained, he mistakenly gave to first 2 people and eventually got to the real girl he wanted to give the money to.
Yes, sir.
Some say there was misjudgment in the manner he wanted to show the compassion. What should he have done?
Well, thank you. This is quite interesting, but there is a perspective that I want to look at as well.
Go ahead.
And I'm happy that Honorable Kujeto has confirmed the Daily Post story. Because the Daily Post story which I have here, that is what represents what they said, it mentions a little girl.
Yes.
Not a lady.
Yeah.
If there is any difference.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, then it will support those who want to say that was the president encouraging child labor? Because one of his fundamental functions as a president is to ensure the maintenance and execution of the laws of Ghana. And Article 58 clearly states that. So if indeed, and as has been confirmed, that is the story, a little girl carrying boiled eggs for sale, then we must also go further and ask, beyond the show of compassion, will he have also then informed the president that there are still children on our street who, for example, should have been in school or engage in other areas that are demanded by education?
The president will know, like all of us, that there are hundreds of kids on the streets who are engaged in stuff like this. What do you say? What exactly do you want him to have done?
Yes, so what I'm saying is that beyond the show of compassion by doling out money, for example, he could have asked somebody to lead the child to the parent or whoever sent her to carry these wares and sell. Because it's clearly against the law.
But we don't know her age at this point.
Well, a little girl, I believe, is a child under the Labor Act at the age of 15 and below. I don't think a little girl will be somebody who is 18 or even 16. That is the story, and the paper is saying that they spoke with the president. So a little girl, I would say that cannot be somebody who is more than 15 years.
So you're saying the president clearly endorsed child labor?
Well, I'm saying that if this story is true, then it will support the view of those who are saying that he may have then encouraged or be part of those who encourage child labor, and that it is also an opportunity for him to fashion out an appropriate policy, even now, to ensure that as many people as possible who are in school-going age are not on the street. And one of them is this whole idea of, likely, Honorable is here, writing of the JSS exam. For me, I find that to be one of the causes of all these menace of the child labor and so on. This should be.
Then you should be voting for Indum because he wants to clear this off. There's going to be any exam at that level.
Simply, I haven't even heard him on that. But that is my view.
Right.
I think we make too much out of education examination. That is one-off examination.
But
the JSS system,
sincerely,
yes.
are you not asking too much of the president? Is there any political tradition or leader that is going to be able to get rid of that situation in the manner you are saying, so that we will have no child engaged in selling ice water or anything like that?
No, that is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that beyond that, there is also an opportunity for the president.
Okay.
Of course, that wouldn't have been the only child he saw. In fact, even beyond the children, there are people of 18, 19 who have dropped. There was one guy who was just at the washing bay, very close to the first house. Last time I went, he's been able to get admission to do nursing. And this was a guy who had been there for 3 years just because he didn't have money to pay the fees. So there are a lot of them on the streets.
Okay.
And I'm saying that it is an opportunity for president to note that. I would have wished that he would have even gotten out of the car to have a better view of how many people are really on the street.
So you are clear in your mind that this was not vote buying?
Oh, no. I mean, that is why I'm worried that
thank you. Let's hear
there was an attempt to even discredit the story.
Right.
I mean, how can this amount to vote buying?
Right.
And my worry is about the fact that giving money to a child who is selling on the street will feed into the minds of the people. That there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay, Kuku, let's hear you.
Well. You know what? I'm as excited about what happened as Sami put it, except for different reasons. He thought that more or less exposed the president's humanity or humanism and compassion and all the rest. I am happy, and I want this to happen quite often. Citizen journalism. Some, amateur, of course, but it's citizen journalism. And I think it should be a signal to all the politicians out there, that when they are on the campaign trail or they are doing any other thing, some of these things could be happening. To that extent, I'm happy, and I want to encourage that particular. It's prevalent elsewhere, yes, and big stations and media outlets even pick those things, use them for it, and of course they pay for that.
There are other pictures actually circulating that the president was giving money to a chief and all those stuff.
Well, we have to be cautious. You've given us a specific matter to deal with. I want to deal with that because, to be honest with you, I initially was very skeptical of the video. I hadn't seen it aside, but the write-ups and things, because these days there's that subculture of doctrine and all sorts of things on social media. Yes, it's a lot, and I'm very careful these days before when I see or read some of these things. But gradually it's been demystified. We know that it did happen, and the president has given a certain reason. Again, the various reasons that came, with the exception of the chief of staff that was a bit measured, even though it had its own problems, it made me remember the 6 versions or so that came up when Mr. Rawlings assaulted Vice President Akar at a cabinet meeting. You see, when you have various versions, different versions, it creates credibility problems, and so, but we agree, you watch the thing carefully, that cannot be a vote buying exercise. It cannot be. But I think it was also indiscreet. There's a campaign team out there. The president is out there. There's a campaign team with him. Once such things happen, I believe communication is that effective among themselves for some party campaign elements to take care of that situation, rather than the president himself going out to do those things in order to show compassion, to show that, I'm human. It can be misread, can be misinterpreted. And we're all being very fair here, I have to be honest. I think this has been a very fair discussion and interrogation of the matter. So perhaps it will cure whatever mischief some people might have intended. Otherwise,
except I'm not sure about Nana Kumia. He wasn't fair.
Nana tried to put it in a broader framework. But so to be honest with you, I think it's a lesson. Next time, the president's campaign team, even the responses, it could have been handled by the campaign team. The president's absence is immaterial. There's a campaign team out there. The campaign team should be able to coordinate this. If somebody has to contact the president, it shouldn't just be the media. The media did nothing wrong contacting the president. It's a good job, good journalism in that respect. But the campaign team, they have people who must be able to deal with these things and put out an answer, rather than individual members of the campaign team going out to explain and rationalize, and some even to defend that, look, even if he was sharing money, what's the big deal? Come on.
You're referring to Kofi Adams?
And then an MP, you give us our research material. Yes. Manya Krobo. Yes, you destroy the whole thing.
Lower Manya Krobo.
Thankfully, we've all decided to be a bit fair-minded and not play the mischief today.
Okay, so we'll get more coordinated, but I just wanted 30 seconds something, if you will oblige me, to just assure counsel, Mr. Yeboah, right? Mr. Opong. Yeah, he asked if there are no interventions to deal with such situation. If it is, we've not confirmed the age of the child. I just wanted to readily submit that there are 3 policies that we've been implementing. One is the CBE, what we call the Complementary Basic Education Program, which mops up street children, and then we bring them back to be taught based on their age, and then after the sessions, they are mainstreamed, formalized into the educational system. Ghana Education Service, Ministry of Education. So
not social welfare.
No, my ministry has been doing that.
So they go out on the street and look for people.
Yes, look for people. So far, we have trained about. we've engaged about 450,000. That's the official statistics. But we have done that in 4 regions, Upper West, Upper East, Northern, and Brongahafo region. We are now coming down south.
Okay.
So that's a new intervention.
Thank you.
Then there is a second one, which is the BEC resit. You know, for a long time, the BEC, you were not allowed to resit. Right. So over the last 2 years, we have amended that policy. So the WAEC now allows for resit, which is allowing us to mop up children who fall through the cracks. And the final one, the third policy, is the abolition of the shift system, because that has also been encouraging straightism. You meet them in the morning, they say, oh, I'm in the afternoon shift. You meet them in the afternoon, they claim they were in the morning shift.
Right. There is a lot of room for improvement.
Yes, yes. I agree. I concede to that.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
But also, something,
yes,
2 seconds. You see, well, as for what Lawyer Point is saying, and indeed, it's the NPP that has been championing it. This receipt will not do much because people will still fail. The more sustainable approach is to extend basic education from the BEC to the secondary level, as has been proposed by Nana Akufo-Addo. That is a much more substantive approach. But you see, this thing
Except that
is
with that
also
one, you need the children to be in school. You see, if the child is not in school, whether you have extended it,
you said you build school,
he's not there.
But you said you have built school.
So you still need a program that mops up the children on the streets.
Okay, but
That's a critical point.
I thought you've removed all the schools and the trees, so everybody now should be in school. But you see, the other one is, it also demonstrates the government's propensity to resort to deception and propaganda. Because when this video came out, if you haven't spoken to the president, why put out that it's a doctored tape? And no, that is a lie, and that is people want to just accuse the president.
Communication also does go wrong in the
and now we are being told that it actually shows the compassionate side of the president. You know, it shows how humanitarian he is. But they have told us that it was a doctored tape.
Thank you. What the president said is what we should go by. Thank you very much. Now, this show is brought to you by Bank of Africa, strong as a group and close as a partner. MTN, welcome to the new world. Star Assurance, creating smiles since 1985. Having mosquito coil pleasant on humans, tough nightmare on insects. Accra Compost and Recycling Plant, they bring you ACAP fertilizer, and that's a truly natural fertilizer that will give you high yields. White Temple Agency, a luxury you can afford. What sort of tiles are you looking for? That's the place to go. Innes Fly, for a pest-free life. Just paint mosquitoes and other insects out of your life. Royal Lighting, walk in the light. Now, the time to save and win is back again with the Season of Giving promo at the Bank of Africa, and you know it's quite simple to participate. Just enter by depositing or opening an account with 150 Ghana cedis. 150 Ghana cedis, build up funds and get rewarded at the end of every month till the end of the promo. No raffles, no draws. Yes, no draws, which means everyone wins. Fantastic prizes such as TVs, smartphones, laptops, and a host of others are up for grabs. The promo is on till the 31st of January 2017. Remember, the more you save, the more you win. Terms and conditions apply though. Make that move to save by visiting Bank of Africa branch to participate. Bank of Africa is strong as a group and close as a partner. If you are using an internet that is disappointing you, now this is a time to ditch that service and hop on to MTN 4G LTE and enjoy a whopping 100% bonus when you bundle. To get started, simply dial *585# to check if your device is 4G compatible, and then visit any MTN service center near you with a valid ID and make your switch today. Enjoy a better internet experience on Ghana's only 4G network on the go, and say hello to the future. MTN, welcome to the new world, and insurance made easy. Make it happen quick. Everything you wanted of insurance is online. Buy, renew, and make your claims all in 3 easy steps. First, log on to starassurance.com and follow the easy steps to get your insurance online. It's that easy and quick. Star E-Insurance, possible anywhere, anytime. Star Assurance, that is your solid partner. And Having Insecticide has relaunched a newly improved, stronger killing formula for its products, Heaven Black Mosquito Coil and Heaven Plus Mosquito Spray, now have a stronger killing formula against all flying and crawling insects, mosquitoes, cockroaches, and ants. Heaven Black Mosquito Coil and Heaven Plus Mosquito Spray have a unique scented, sweet scented perfume. You can now sleep in the room immediately after spraying. Heaven Plus Mosquito Spray, pleasant on humans, a tough nightmare on insects. Heaven Black Mosquito Coil, a kum intuntum team. And as a farmer, landscaper, or gardener, what's been your bother or headache over the years? Is it poor seasonal yields or post-harvest losses due to short shelf life of your produce? Then you need ACAP compost fertilizer. ACAP compost fertilizer is an organic fertilizer made from pure organic materials such as food and farm waste, decomposed naturally into humus, very suitable for agricultural purposes. It has very high organic matter, good water retention properties, ideal for all crops including vegetables, fruits, cereals, crop trees such as cocoa, palm, coffee, among others. ACAP compost fertilizer is available in all leading agro input dealer and distributors across the country. You can call 026 40 781. White Temple Agencies Limited offers you the latest technologically advanced, trendy, and durable yet affordable stone-coated roofing tiles. Fair Roof, that's a luxury you can afford. They have a variety of colors and designs for you to choose. All they require of you is to supply them your roofing plan. Meeting your taste is what they do, and it is their ultimate priority. You can locate White Temple Agencies Limited on plot number 65 Derby Avenue on the Children's Hospital Road adjacent to NHIS Building Arena, or their sales office branch at Weja Barrier, Accra West. You could also call 0302 67 3773 and they will attend to you with dispatch. Now we will take a quick break here and we return to find out if there is any substance in the noise that's been going on in the course of the week between the NDC and the NPP. The NDC launched its manifesto and said this is the blueprint for Ghana's development. In fact, some of them say the manifesto was given by God. Now, the NPP organizes a press conference and rubbishes everything you find in the manifesto, calls it broken promises that have been rehashed, including theft of ideas belonging to the NPP. They say it is hollow. The NDC says, no, we will come back to look at the details of that manifesto.